Let's get all right, places that will kill you in minutes, not seconds, minutes.
Into it. Number 10,
Oh, shit.
the death zone. At 26,000 feet up Mount Everest, there's a place where your body starts dying the moment you enter it. The air
What
is
the
so
fuck?
thin, your lungs can only get about a third of the oxygen they normally would. Your brain starts shutting down within minutes. Simple tasks like zipping up your jacket become
I think like right now, as we're recording this video, there's still people on Mount Pleasant dead. Like I don't think there's no like type of rescue mission, unless like Mount Pleasant has like seasons where it's like you know like basketball where the season's over. Unless they have like shit like that where like you know there's a couple months where you can't go on the mountain, then they do like the body rescue. But I think there's like bodies laying there. Like they even have this one guy's body called like say they landmarked his body. There's a landmark on Mount Everest called like Redfoot or Greenfoot, some shit like that. Redfoot or Greenfoot, and it's somebody's real life dead foot sticking out dead or some shit, and that's a landmark now.
nearly impossible. Some climbers have been found frozen to death with their jackets unzipped. Their
Damn, at
minds
least zip
too
his jacket
oxygen
up.
starved to realize they were freezing. Your body literally starts eating
Wait,
itself.
what?
It's
You
too
starved?
oxygen starved to realize they were freezing. Your body literally starts eating itself up here. Every hour you spend in the death zone, you're burning through your muscles and organs for fuel. Even with oxygen tanks, you've got about 20 hours before things start going really wrong.
20 hours is a long time. If you can't make it to, I don't know. Can you take breaks on Mount Pleasant? I think did I call it Mount Pleasant? Oh my god.
The death zone has a place called Rainbow Valley. It got this name from the colorful jackets of dead
Of dead
climbers
people.
that never made it back down. These frozen bodies serve as landmarks for other climbers. Some have been there for decades.
What did you see? You probably thought in the beginning of the video, oh nigga, you're just chatting. Shut up, pick cotton. I'm telling you, like I know my shit. Like they use the dead bodies for landmarks. I don't think there's no such thing as rescue missions on Mount Everest. You stay there.
Preserved by the endless cold. The mountain keeps what it takes. Number 9, the Valley of Death. Deep in Russia's Kamchatka region, there's a place that makes your average danger zone look like a playground. The Valley of Death sits right at the foot of Kikpinich volcano. The valley is filled with
names?
invisible clouds of volcanic gas that just hang there, waiting. You won't even know you're in danger until it's too late. The gases are completely invisible and odorless.
Oh
Animals
my
that
God.
wander into this valley
Die. Let me guess. They die. 2, 1. Wait, what?
don't wander back out. Birds flying overhead sometimes drop right out of the sky. The valley floor is literally scattered with the bodies of animals that made the mistake of entering this death trap.
What
The
the
volcano
fuck?
has 3 peaks, one bright white like a winter wonderland. The middle peak has a massive crater that's about 200 feet wide, constantly leaking toxic gases. The northern peak is covered in fresh black and red rock, like nature's warning sign saying, "Stay away." The last time this volcano erupted was around 1550, but it's far
Was
from
around,
dead.
wait, what? Wait, what? What year? were?
The last time this volcano erupted was around 1550.
1550. How do you know that? How do we know that? 1550. Not 19, not 18, not 17, not 16. 1515. That's like medieval times.
But it's far from dead. Those toxic gases are proof that something nasty is still brewing under there. Anyone who takes a wrong turn into this valley has minutes
Ew,
to
why is her head shaped like Mrs. Puff?
live. Number 8. The frozen hell of Oymyakon.
Oh my god, who's naming these things?
In the darkest corner of Siberia lies a town where your spit freezes before
So Russia again. We're in Russia again. For those who don't know their geography, I am a previous geography teacher. Siberia is in Russia.
it hits the ground. The air is so cold.
what
Corner of
happens?
Siberia lies a town where your spit freezes before it hits the ground. The air is
Where your spit freezes before it hits the ground? Don't pee outside. If you pee outside, by the time it comes out the pee hole, it's gonna freeze the pee hole. And you're gonna have a pee hole clogged up. And you're gonna have to plumber it. And you're gonna have to defrost it with the heater on your pee hole.
so cold. Your eyes can freeze shut if you cry. Birds freeze mid-flight and drop from the sky.
Where are you going at this temperature? What could you be hunting? Not worms. Bunny rabbits, maybe. Wolves, if you're a big bird, I guess. Fuck are you going?
The temperature here drops to minus 90 degrees Fahrenheit. That's colder than Mars on an average day. Metal becomes so brittle it shatters.
How do we know this? How do we know this? Is it because of the fake rover that we have on Mars? How do we know Mars is coldest day? And we probably could know that. Mars isn't that far, like that far, but like still, how do you know this?
Shatters like glass.
Like, which human went outside in a bubble jacket on Mars and be like, nah, yeah, this shit is cold. Like, don't get me wrong, like, the aliens probably... Alright, let me get to it.
Cars must be kept running 24/7 during winter. Turn off your engine, and it'll never start again until spring. The fuel lines freeze solid in minutes.
I have a question, because I know we all want to know this. How cheap is gas down there? For a car to be running 24/7, how cheap is gas down there? So I'll tell you something right now. I'm not running my car for more than 30 minutes.
The ground is frozen so hard, it takes days to dig a grave. They have to use blowtorches to thaw the earth enough to bury their dead. The locals say you better not die in winter, because they'll have to keep you on ice until spring. Your breath freezes into crystals that make a tinkling sound as they fall. They call it the whispers of the frost. A cup of hot coffee thrown in the air turns into coffee snow before touching the ground. The village sits in a natural bowl between mountains where...
Alright, nah. My next video is going to be this town. I have to see this. Like, where they say Liberia?
Cold air gets trapped. The cold doesn't just kill you, it preserves you. Scientists find perfectly preserved bodies in the permafrost, frozen for thousands of years. Number 7, the boiling lake. Deep in the jungles of Dominica, there's a lake that's literally boiling. Not just hot, not just steamy, but actually bubbling like a pot on your stove. The water temperature hits 197 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to cook you in minutes. Scientists can't even measure how hot the middle is.
That's cooking a human, like cooked. Like, you mean like cooked, like overcooked? Or like well done, medium rare? Because if that's that hot, once you drop it in, your skin's gone.
Because nobody wants to risk falling in trying to check the temperature. The whole thing is about 200 feet across, just bubbling and churning nonstop. Sometimes the lake just decides to drain itself and then fill back up. It's like Earth's version of a toilet flush, but filled with boiling water. The whole area around it is called the Valley of Desolation. The ground is cracked and steaming, like walking on the surface of hell itself. Steam vents.
How do you know this? I mean, it makes sense, obviously. Like, you could just see and tell, like, but how are you comparing it to hell? Because I'm scared to go to hell. I'm not scared to walk on that little... Wait, hold on. Walk on that. Wait, what is this again? Wait, what is this topic again?
Hiss everywhere, spewing out toxic gases.
Yeah, never mind. I don't want to walk on that. But I'd rather prefer walking on that than hell.
The ground is crusty and unstable, ready to collapse into boiling mud pools at any moment. The locals say the lake takes what it wants.
A boiling mud pool sounds relaxing. I'm not going to lie to you.
Wrong step near those edges, and you're instant soup. Number 6.
Introducing the new era.
Soup? Like instant noodles? Ooh. Wait, hold on. The gates of hell. Wait, hold on. What are we naming these things?
Near those edges, and you're instant soup.
Do not give me
Number 6. The gates of hell.
Oh
In Ethiopia's Danakil Desert sits a volcano that makes hell look like a vacation spot.
Alright, yo. Who is this YouTuber? Chill Dude. Yo, Chill Dude? Is it Chill? Yeah, is it Chili or Chill? Oh, Chill. Alright, all those letters. Alright, whatever. Chill Dude, chill. Stop comparing so much shit to hell.
Lay is one of only 6 places of hell.
I'm starting to think that you've been to hell.
In Ethiopia's Danakil Desert sits a volcano that makes hell look like a vacation spot.
That makes hell. I understand that, you need... Alright, bro, let me get to it.
Lay is one of only 6 places on Earth with a permanent lake of lava. The locals call it the Smoking Mountain. This massive pit of eternally churning lava burns at 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to turn your bones into charcoal before you even hit the lava. The surface is black.
I knew that? I'm trying to tell you guys, I also am an ecologist.
Black and crusty, like the world's deadliest brownie, but that crust is always cracking, showing the bright orange hell below. Sometimes these plates explode, sending molten rock flying everywhere. The air around it is filled with toxic volcanic gases. One deep breath and your lungs are cooked from the inside. The gases are so corrosive they eat through camera equipment in minutes. The ground itself is like a thin crust floating on liquid fire. Step in the wrong spot, and you're breaking through into molten rock. The heat is so intense it can melt your boots before you realize what's happening. At night, the whole crater glows like Satan's swimming pool. The lava shifts and moves, forming black plates that crack and sink. This thing has been erupting non-stop since the 1960s. Fall in that lava lake, and there won't even be ashes left to find. Number 5. The Skeleton
What about
Coast.
bones?
Off the coast of Namibia, there's a stretch of beach literally littered with bones and shipwrecks. The locals call it the land God made in anger. The Portuguese sailors
Alright, I was getting at all the other names, but that name was so shit.
called it the Gates of Hell. The ocean...
Never mind me. Here comes the Gates of Hell again.
There's a stretch of beach literally littered with bones and shipwrecks. The locals call it the land God made in anger. The Portuguese sailors called it the Gates of Hell.
Okay,
the ocean currents here are like nature's meat grinder. Ships that get too close get slammed into hidden reefs or dragged onto the beach. The waves are so powerful they can tear a ship apart in minutes. The fog rolls in without warning, turning day into night. Ships crash into the coast, thinking they're still out at sea.
I want you to listen to all this and then think about the medieval times when people were allegedly sailing ships these sizes back in the days. You had to predict the perfect weather back in those days. Like, I don't know how they did it, bro. Is that an ad coming up?
Rusty skeletons scatter the beach like a natural museum of death. The sand dunes are massive, some over 1,000 feet high. When the wind hits them just right, they make this deep, booming sound, like the desert is laughing at its victims. During the day, the sand hits 140 degrees Fahrenheit. At night, it drops below freezing. There's no fresh water for hundreds of miles. The sand dunes are always moving, swallowing everything in their path. Whole shipwrecks have disappeared under the sand, only to show up decades later.
Is sand dune like all the sand, like the waves of sand?
The desert preserves everything it takes. Bones of whales, seals, and humans last for decades. If the ocean doesn't kill you, the desert will. Number 4. The Deadly Swamp of Siberia. Deep in northeast
Siberia again?
Eastern Russia, there's a swamp that's basically nature's version of a minefield.
Yo, I'm surprised Australia never hit the list yet.
The ground looks solid, but step in the wrong spot and you're done for. The whole place is built on melting permafrost, ancient ice that's
melting what?
Been frozen for thousands of years. As this ice melts, it creates massive underground pockets of methane gas. These gas pockets are like buried time bombs.
Today, you don't mind the wait. You've got the all-new Caesar's Palace.
Come off with a stupid-ass ad. But I don't mind the wait.
With enough force to throw debris hundreds of meters into the air. 1 minute you're walking, the next you're being launched into orbit by an underground methane bomb. The surface is covered in innocent-looking moss and grass, but underneath, it's Earth's deadliest trap. Some spots are so soft you'll sink in seconds. What looks like solid ground is actually a thin crust floating on water. Step on it, and you break through into the freezing water below. The mud pulls you down like quicksand.
Yo, these animation faces are so hilarious.
But colder and darker. Number 3. The Poison Garden. Behind black iron gates in England sits a garden that could kill you just by breathing wrong. The entrance has skull and crossbones on it, and they're not trying to be edgy. They mean it. Every single plant here was chosen because it can kill you. Some plants are so dangerous, they're kept in metal cages. Even their fumes can knock you out cold. The laburnum tree looks beautiful with its yellow flowers. But touch a fallen branch, and the toxins hit so fast some people don't even make it to the hospital. Wolfsbane can stop your heart just by brushing against its leaves. Ancient warriors used it to poison their arrows for instant kills. The castor bean plant makes ricin, one of the deadliest poisons known to man. A single seed contains...
what's the most deadly poison? What?
Leaves. Ancient warriors used it to poison their arrows for instant kills. The castor bean plant makes ricin, one of the deadliest poisons known to man. A single seed contains enough poison to kill 1,000 people. It's basically nature's version of a loaded gun. The garden is so dangerous, visitors need a safety briefing before entering. The guides carry emergency oxygen tanks with them. People still pass out during tours. The craziest part is some of these killers are probably growing in your neighbor's garden right now. That pretty flower by their fence might be plotting your doom. Number 2. The Saltstraumen Whirlpool. Off the coast of Norway, there's
A seed that could kill 1,000 people? Where is that located at? That's dangerous. Do not let the government get their hands on that.
a stretch of water that's basically nature's garbage
What's the Bermuda
disposal.
Triangle?
The Saltstraumen creates whirlpools so massive they can swallow boats. 4 times a day, 400 million cubic meters of water get squeezed through a channel barely wider than a football field. That's enough water to fill 160,000 Olympic swimming pools, all trying to squeeze through at once. The current hits speeds of 25 miles per hour, faster than most Olympic swimmers. These whirlpools are monsters. Some stretch 40 feet across and go down hundreds of feet. Get caught in one of these, and you're going for the last spin of your life. The current is so strong, it can snap boat anchors like they're made of pasta. Even the Vikings stayed away from this place, and they weren't exactly known for playing it safe. The surface looks calm 1 minute, then turns into a watery tornado the next. By the time you realize you're in trouble, it's already too late. These are officially the strongest whirlpools on Earth, recorded in the Guinness Book of World Records. Things that go down there don't come back up. Number 1, the Pitch Lake. In Trinidad.
Oh, Trinidad. Not Trinidad, but where's Australia? You have disappointed me. I still will never visit that place ever. You're still number 1 most fucked up country or state or whatever you guys want to claim you are, or map, or game mode in the world. But I'm disappointed. Like, you're not on this list.
There's a lake that's
Australia
not
should
made of
have a
water.
farm-
It's made of asphalt.
You know.
This massive 100-acre death trap is like
Maybe it's not on the list because the whole place could kill you.
nature's biggest pot of tar that's deeper than the Statue of Liberty is tall. The surface looks solid enough to walk on, but that's exactly what makes it so deadly. The asphalt is always moving, always shifting, like slow-motion quicksand. One wrong step, and you're sinking into 250 feet of liquid asphalt. The surface temperature hits 140 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to cook
What is he talking about?
you while you sink. Gases bubble up from below, releasing invisible clouds of methane and hydrogen sulfide. One deep breath of that stuff and you're done.
gone.
Even if you survive the heat, the toxic fumes will finish you off. The lake swallows everything it touches. Trees, animals, even ancient artifacts vanish into the black depths. Sometimes the lake spits things back up, perfectly preserved. Ancient tree trunks surface looking like they just fell in yesterday. Scientists found there's life in there, tiny organisms living in the pitch, thriving in conditions that should kill anything alive. These things don't need oxygen or normal food to survive. They're basically aliens living in a lake of tar. That's all for today. I'll be making...
No, don't be nothing. No, you're done.